What is up, guys? In this tutorial I am going to be talking about how you can do web scraping on old website like this. No disrespect, but it seems just very old. And one good thing about old websites are you can actually it's very easy to scrape content on this web, and we'll take a look at how it's done right now. And the topic for today is hula. What's hula? Not hulu. Hula is a dancing technique. Hula is a hula dance. It's a Polynesian dance form accompanied by chant. It's basically developed in Hawaii, whatnot, and it's a very traditional cultural thing. So I just thought this website was doing perfectly fine for the context of this tutorial, and I just picked up this one right here. Okay, pretty much like how we do. If you have not checked out my previous videos, you got to check it out. And I'm just going to go pretty straightforward from now. So pretty much like how we did, we are going to start a new project, and the way we start that is by scrapy start project, and then give it a name, the name that you wish to give. I'm going to give it as fitness 3 right now. It's a new project and it's ready to grow. It's ready to roll. So let's get into fitness 3. Alright, now what we have is fitness 3, and if we take a look at I'm going to pull up my text editor Atom for the context of this purpose, for the context of this lecture, and close this. I don't want cliff high. If you okay, I basically want to close this, open folder, fitness 3. Okay, awesome. So right now what we have is a new project out of the box, and so let's get the ball rolling. What you should do right now is take a look at the spider folder, and since there is no spider, let's go ahead and create a new file, and we'll call it hulu spider spider.py. Now the first thing you should do is import scrapy, which is what we are doing right now, and then create a class and give it a name called hulu spider, and let that import from scrapy.spider. Okay, now we have hulu_spider.py. This is our spider, and when you start a spider, you should always start it by giving its name. Let's call it hulu. Wait, did I just hula? You see, I too much effect of Silicon Valley. That's what just happened to me. It's supposed to be hula, right? HULA. Let's give it hula. Too much effect of Silicon Valley, the cereal. Let's rename it to hula. Okay, now we have the name, and let's define where it should start. So you should always specify from where the scraping should start. So you should say something like start_URLs, start URLs. Okay, the naming convention of the variables should be the same. You cannot change the naming convention. And so just give it the link that you want to scrape from, and just set it apart, and we are ready to roll, I suppose. Yep, like this. Awesome. Now what we have is our start URL. What we should have right now is a method inside the class, and we'll call it def. Create a method, right? and the method name is supposed to be parsed all the time, and it takes in arguments. One is called self, the other argument is called as response. Okay, this is the standard syntax, and if you can write this, you are like ready to roll. Okay, now this method is basically going to parse all the content on this web page here, and it's pretty much it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to just take a look at the content by fetching it in my console. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say scrapy shell. Okay, now yep, it says end of file while parsing. Let's not bother about this one. Okay, so I'm just going to pass it right now for the purpose right now, and let's do it again. Scrapy shell. Yep, this is the standard thing that it shows. Now if you want to fetch something, if you want to, like, you know, experiment with a URL, all you do is fetch, FETCH, and fetch. The fetch command is basically responsible for getting the URL. Okay, now if you take a look at response, okay, we have fetched successfully this URL. Perfect. Now let's get started. Let's go and inspect. Right click, inspect, and this is inside a div tag. Wow, div tag is what is the content in. Is it what it is? Let's take a look at this one here. It's a div tag again. Wow, this, because there's no good organization, it is going to be a little difficult. Okay, it's all in div tag. Okay, I think, you know, what we're going to do right now is let's just get the content from all the div tags regardless of the image. Okay, let's just scrape all the div tags, and I think I will also scrape the article title as well. So if you inspect, yep. So now let's get started. How do you find the title of the article? The way you find the title of the article is by, so title is, you know what, we'll first get a hold of all the articles. Okay, I think so let's just see. This is inside the p tag. This is inside the entry div. Okay, what about this one right here? Is it also inside the entry div? Okay, cool. This one is inside the entry div, and this is the post title tag. Okay, awesome. But all of them are wrapped in a post div class. Awesome, that's what I am trying to look at. So you want to be able to find that tag that wraps the entire article, the article name, the article category, the article content, you know. So that's the kind of tag that you want to look at. And let's see, let's take a look at this one right here, and let's go back. This is the post. Awesome, perfect. Right now what we are going to do is we want to take a look at all the post elements. Okay, and if you see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think, yeah, 7 articles on this page, and each article has a class of post. So let's first grab all the elements that have a class of post. So how do you do that? Response dot xpath. If you guys don't know how to use xpath, there is a tutorial. You guys have to go check it out on my channel. Okay, so apart from that, the way you select it is by using // adding adding an asterisk, open the square bracket, at, mention the attribute you want, the class, the name of the class, right? That's what it is, and it is called as post. Now if you take a look at this one, you have like let's see, how many of them do you have? You have 7. So clearly all these are all posts that have like 7. There are 7 posts in this page, which is what we want, right? Okay, how do you get the title of the article? This is the title, right? Usually the title is inside a div class, and under that is you know, an h2 tag, right? And under that is the title. Perfect. Now how do we get to the title? What you should do right now is, let us first assume one of these selector objects as a post. What is a selector object? Basically these are all the posts, right? So I'm going to say post 1 is this one. Oops, not the selector object, but response.xpath of 0. Basically I'm selecting the first element of the selector object, and let's see, let's take a look at post 1. Alrighty, okay, good. Now what do we want to do is we want to be able to get the title of the post. So the way you find the title of the post is by doing post 1 dot, inside a given post there is a class called post title. Let's just grab that first. Oops, let's go back here. I'm going to say xpath, open square brackets, use 2 forward slashes and a star with a square bracket of class equals post title, right? And one important thing is, if you just hit enter now, it is going to show all the post title classes, you know, all the articles, I mean all the elements that have a post title class. That is not what we want. We want to be able to select that post title which belongs to post 1, right? You don't want to select the post title of post 3, you want to select the post title of post 1, and the way you do that is by adding a dot. So post 1, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say post 1 dot xpath. Okay, you know what, let's not waste time, let's just go back a command and add a dot here, and that is going to select the title that belongs to the first post, that is post 1. And what you should do next is you should go ahead and choose the h2 tag. Inside of the h2 tag there is an anchor tag, right? There is an anchor tag, and you want to be able to get the, what happened? Okay, you want to be able to get the tag, the text of the tag, that is what is the title. Okay, so text of the tag is like this. Okay, perfect. We have the text that is Hawaii vacation tips. That is what is our title, and to extract that you just say extract first Hawaii vacation tips. That's perfectly fine. That's what we want, right? So how do you find the title? This is how you find the title. How do you find all the posts? This is how you find all the posts. So let's go back, write our code, and say posts is xpath and this one. Okay, now iterate through every post. For every post in posts, basically iterate through every post, and what you want to do is grab the title, and the title is this one right here, which is like this, paste it like so. That's it. So now we got the title. How do you get the content of the post? The content of the post is pretty much like so how do you get the content of the post? So this is the title of the post. This is, let's see, the content is inside of the entry class. Let's take a look at entry class for a second. I am assuming it is going to be up until here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, right over there. Perfect. This is what we want. And let's just take a look at this one here. That is also inside of the entry class. Perfect. So let's go back and you know, just grab this entry class. Okay, pretty much like how we did before. We don't want to select all the comments inside, all the content inside the page. We want to just select those contents that belong to post 1. And the way you do that is by adding this small dot here, / asterisk at class equals entry. Let's proceed. Okay, and let's extract the content. Extract. Now you should see a whole bunch of text. That's what I am looking for. Okay, let's just take this here and let's just do the text part of it for a second. Yep, this is what we want, and then extract it. Why is there no text? Oh, okay. Let's just see. It's inside the div tag. 5 strong vacationing tips. Entry with the image. Spend your time outdoors. I see. You know what? Let's grab everything. Now, if you look at this one here, it is kind of, you know, throwing us the image URLs as well, which is kind of irrelevant, right? I am not going to handle content processing, but I just want to show you how to do scraping. What I'm going to do now is get rid of the text part and extract this. Okay, now this is our text. There is a div class called entry, div class called strong, 5 tips. So you need to do a lot of text processing here, which I feel is kind of ridiculous. So is there a way for us to get the text in a much better way? Let us see. You know, I mean, if we are not able to get it, we have to come back to this stage, but let us, you know, kind of explore when we have control in our hand. So what we can do instead of entry is we can basically, if you look at this, all the content is present inside the div tag, and let us see if we can do something about this. Yeah, let us, you know what, instead of this, let us choose all the div tags, and we'll see where we go. You see, a whole bunch of them are just waste of divs, and some of them have content in here. Okay, is there another better way to choose just the content of it? You know, the problem with the unstructured website is this. You know, there's no like proper structuring, and it kind of becomes really hard to scrape, because I mean, you can scrape, but it, it becomes such irritating process such that you basically think of get around ways like how I'm doing now. Okay, is there a better way? I mean, guys, I would really appreciate you guys in the comment section to help me just extract the text, right? Instead of div tags all wrapped around and whatnot. I mean, I could go through every single div tag and get the text of it. That is one way. But I still think that's kind of I mean, that's the way around right now. I mean, I don't see another way. Let's do it. Let's go, not extract right now. Let's go through every single div tag, and these are all the div tags. Okay, now let us do an XPath again. Okay, and iterate through every single div tag here and get the content out of that div tag. So let us, you know what? Let us do this. Not extract, basically go through this and let us see, div underscore tag sample. Okay, instead of typing div tag sample, I'm going to say DTS. That's standing for div tag sample, and choose maybe choose post date, post title, post entry, strong. Let's, you know what, let's choose the content of the div tag. Okay, let us see. Let us just randomly choose the 10th div tag, DTS 10. Okay, now if I take a look at DTS 10, okay, it's just an empty div tag, not so good. Let us find out something that's kind of having entries them. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Let us choose the third div tag, you know, instead of 10th div tag. Let us choose the third div tag, that is DTS underscore 3. Yep, it is having something. Now let us extract the text out of this. Again, XPath, right? // text. Let us see where we go. Oops, I should have, I mean, it's my bad, you know. Yep, so I got this, and if I hit extract, first, you know, let's just extract the first. I mean, there's just one thing here, we'll see. Okay, so we got the content on it. Okay, so you know, this is what we're gonna do. We are going to take care of all the div tags and iterate through every single div tags. Div tags is like so. Whoops, let's go here. So let us grab all these div tags. You know what, I mean, I'm really impatient to go back up there. Okay, these are all the div tags on our post here, on the first post. So yep, perfect. So this is how you grab all the div tags that belong to that particular post. Okay, now instead of post 1, I'm just going to say post here, because we are iterating through every post. Okay, so these are all the div tags, and you know what, so iterate through every single div tag. For every div tag, in div tags, iterate through every single div tag and then get the text, right? That's what we are trying to do. And on the large grand scheme of things, we will have to have a entire, entire content. Okay, entire content is just entire content is basically this an empty list. Okay, it's just this basic empty list. Iterate through every single div tag and get the text of every single div tag, and the way you do that is div tag dot text. Okay, no, how you do that is doing xpath dot / text. Okay, now this is div tag text, right? Div tag text. So that is the text of div tag, right? You got the text of div tag. Now what you're gonna do is append that text to the entire content. But before that, what I still would want us to do is basically this one right here. Instead of doing extract first, I'm going to do a little bit of Python here. Let us see, dts3.join. Yep, this is the thing that I wanted. Okay, guys, if you're not understanding what is going on, I would recommend you guys to go and check out my previous tutorial, and I'm going to link it up in the description, because I have done I've explained what is going on here in the previous tutorial, especially with this syntax here, with just join whatever. So that is the thing that I want to achieve here. Let's do it. Let's do join why not we add comments, because it is getting to a point where we are not able to understand, right? Get the div tag text. This is what it's doing. Okay, getting the div tag text. Once you have the div tag text, all you do is append it to the entire content of that post. Okay, so entire content dot append div tag text, right? So just add it to the post content. Okay, now what you are going to do is, you got the div tag text, and you've got even you've even gotten it appended to the entire content. So this part is taken care. So you have iterated successfully through every single div tag of a given post. You've gotten the content of the div tag, and then you're appending it to the entire content. Okay, good. Now let us go here and do an yield statement. yield yield. Okay, now so the title of that article is title, right? Title is title. Okay, that's a string. Okay, cool. Now content is entire content. But before we do entire content, we have to do a little bit of entire content cleanup, and that is pretty much like this. Join. Now join what? The entire content, because it's a list, right? And finally, now what we're going to do is just pass an entire content, and this should basically do the job for yielding the first few articles. After this, let us even incorporate pagination. Now how do you incorporate pagination? It's pretty much very simple. Let's go here and incorporate pagination. Okay, now if you go down all the way here, there is the next page. Previous entries is what is the next page, and it is very well under previous entries class. That makes our life so easy. All we have to do is just go to response.xpath, get the class, star, open the bracket, class, oops, and that is previous entries. And let us see, there's just one. Okay, now we have to be able to get the anchor tags href, right? So how do you do that? Just basically do this, / anchor tag / it's an attribute, right? Get the href attribute and extract it. Just extract, extract the first element. Yep. Okay, good. So this is how you get the next page absolute URL. Okay, now let us go back here and talk about incorporating pagination. Now, next page absolute URL, next page absolute URL or link is this one right here. Okay, now once you have it, as long as there is a next page, as long as there is a next page, as long as there is this previous entries link, you got to keep going through the next pages. So how do you do that? If next page absolute link is not none, as long as this is not none, just keep scraping the website. So how do you say? All you do is yield. Every time I get this yield spelling wrong. Yield response dot follow. Okay, now what you're going to follow is next page absolute link, and then you have to pass in what it should do after following. And what it should do after following is it is supposed to call the parse method, and this should do the job. That's it. So let us try to scrape the content from this thing right here, and let us see how successful we would be. So let's go into fitness 3 in another console. Okay, now scrapy crawl, give it the name of whatever, hula, for that's the thing. Oops, I have to first activate my environment on. I'm running this on Conda, so I gotta do that. I gotta do this. Okay, let us see now. Okay, seems like something's happening. Wow, it just did what we expected, but we did not tell it to save on a particular file. So to save it on a particular file, you just have to say -o hula and the name of the specify the name of the file, and you can actually say either .json or .csv, so, or even .text for that matter. Okay, this is our JSON file, and you see it's very well extracted. That's the cool thing about what we did right here, because we want to extract only the text. So that is why we did this, and this is believe me, this is a huge time saver. Otherwise, during text post processing, after text after scraping the text, you have to do post processing if you want to feed it to the model. And if you were to just have a whole bunch of div tags, whole bunch of links to images that are never going to be used, it's like a lot of pain after scraping. Should I say post scraping pain? Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So it's a great thing that we did this, and I would really appreciate if there is a better way. I just want to see. Okay, so this, I'm going to add a comment here, and I'm going to say just get the text, just get the text of all the div tags. Okay, now that is pretty much it. I mean, that is how you scrape a very old website, and I hope you got value, because it kind of is like very should I say disorganized. I mean, who would put images so haphazardly? I mean I just don't. It's my opinion that this is not all that great of a website. I hope that is what your opinion is too, but I mean, everybody is entitled to their judgment and opinion making, you know. Whatever. So I mean, that's how you do this web scraping thing on a primitive website like this. And always make sure you don't just end up with horrible text like this. For example, you definitely don't want to end up in horrible situation like this. Okay, so you want to make sure you don't end yourself up into this sort of a big cluster mess. So yeah, with that being said, I think that's it for this tutorial. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share. Most likely I'm going to do more scraping tutorials, and you gotta go check out my XPath tutorial, basic selection of elements, in case you did not understand how I selected it. I'm gonna link it in the description, or it should be in my channel as well. Alrighty guys, thank you. Smash up that likes button if you can.